So this is it, guys. This is the big adventure. Oh, welcome to the inside of the Red Beast. God, absolutely shattered. So we're in Scotland. I drove up last night. It was about 4.5 hours. It's now about 6 AM or something. I've got a 7-minute drive to my parking location to start my sunrise hike here in the area of Glencoe. I am really excited. I'm just pretty tired and I need to come round. Scotland just never ever disappoints, does it? Never disappoints. Absolutely unbelievable, stunning views this morning. And oh, I tell you what, I came up last night pretty late. I set off about 7 o'clock and it was about a 4.5 hour drive up to where I slept in the car last night. So I was driving up in the dark. As I got about halfway up the M6, I was kind of thinking, you know, what am I doing? Like, am I crazy? Why am I doing this? You know, at best I'm going to get maybe one decent photograph. I don't know what the weather's going to do. I've got to climb a mountain at stupid o'clock in the morning with my head torch on. But as soon as you get, it happens every single time to me when I do these sunrise hikes. I get about halfway up the mountain and it starts getting light and then you start getting views, you know. And it just, you know, instantly you kind of realise, yeah, this was worth every single second of that ridiculous drive. And of course this is, look at it, absolutely beautiful. So it's about 25 minutes till sunrise, but we are getting quite a nice sort of pre-sunrise glow at the minute. You might be able to see over some of the peaks in the background. I've got about 5 or 10 minutes more hiking to do until I arrive to where I want to set my camera up and take images. So I'm going to get up there pretty sharpish and try and bag a couple of shots whilst we've got these nice pre-sunrise conditions, because these might be the best conditions we get this morning. Whoa. Top draw, phrase of the day. Whew. So a little bit of a backstory before I get into this photograph. If you follow me since last summer, you'll remember that I did the West Highland Way, and part of the route on the West Highland Way was actually at the base of this mountain that we're on now. This is called Stob Ben Acrulist, and I remember walking along that path looking at Buccleuch Moor, which is this huge, beautiful pyramid-shaped mountain here that we're photographing. This is pretty much the prominent subject. Incredibly famous, probably the most photographed peak in all of Scotland, and for good reason, because it's absolutely beautiful. But I remember doing the West Highland Way in this area and looking at the Buckie as people call it, and then looking back up at this mountain here, thinking, wow, I bet if you hike up there, you must get an incredible view of Buccleuch Moor and of the sort of Glencoe area as well, you know, looking back that way. And I was not wrong, but it turns out this is quite a popular spot for people to come to. So, and again, you know, you can understand why. But what a morning, absolutely stunning. Scotland just does something to you. It's just amazing. Like, it's never, ever, ever a wasted trip. You know, sometimes it can be a bit of a trek. I mean, I live right in the north of England and it's still a bit of a trek to get to places like this. But like I say, it's just always worth it. Just going to get the old gloves on. Now, this photograph, in many ways, it's quite simple. A nice sort of panorama. It's always a nice way to start the day, I think. You know, when you go on a hike, it's almost like a natural sort of technique when you're doing sort of mountain photography at sunrise, I find anyway. And this is working perfectly. So I've got the 16 to 35mm lens on. I'm shooting at 16mm, so pretty wide, and it's about a 4-shot pano. And to be honest, guys, all I'm doing is just 1, 2, 3, 4, like just capturing the whole scene because it's worthy of it, you know. So I've made sure, like my last video, I've made sure I've completely leveled out my tripod. You know, when you're making a journey like this, I don't want to be making any mistakes. So each shot, settings wise, has been taken at f11, ISO 100 and 1/3 of a second. And again, same as my last video at Hallswater, I've kept them settings exactly the same all the way across, just to make sure that everything's going to stitch together properly in post-production. One thing that I really wanted to include in this frame is the road, the main road down here, which I believe is the A82. And along with this sort of small white house down there in the glen, it just adds scale, you know. And as well, I mean, it's like they've built a leading line for photographers into Glencoe. Look at it, it's the most beautiful, it's the perfect S. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I wanted to definitely make sure I was including that. And yeah, guys, to be honest, that's pretty much it. There's not really anything else to say. If you're going to make the effort to come up to a peak like this and get views like this, it's very unlikely you're going to leave a rubbish photograph, really, isn't it? The light is just starting to hit some of these peaks now, which is an absolute bonus. Weather forecast was a bit of a mixed bag. Usually in Scotland, when it's a mixed bag, it means it's going to rain and be cloudy. So that's why I was pretty eager to get the shot that I've just got, because we did have some really nice colours up there in the sky, sort of reds and pinks and oranges, and you know, like I said before, they may have been the best conditions, but it looks like we might be getting some light as well on the peak. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll pop the image up now, which is going to be the sort of pre-sunrise, the dawn shot, and then I may take a shot now because I think the light is actually hitting these peaks now. Amazing. I hope you guys like this shot. So it's happening. It is happening. Oh, the light is hitting the peaks. It's just phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. I would have done this journey 100 times over for this. So you may be able to see there, we are very lucky. There's a bank of cloud, then there's a tiny gap, then there's another bank of low cloud, and the sun's just peeking through that little gap and lighting up all these mountains. So there's going to be another shot. It's pretty much going to be the same composition, if not exactly the same composition. I'm just doing a pano again. Changed the settings and I've changed one or two things ever so slightly. The only reason I've changed things is because it's got brighter, just to try and make it as simple as possible. So you can see I've got a few filters on. I've got my polarizer on the front, which is really helping I can't even talk, helping to sort of deepen the blues up there in the sky and bring out some of the colour of those pinks and sort of oranges that are hitting the peaks. Because when you get like direct light shining on snow like it is there in the background, it becomes really, really bright and it's almost like reflective. So the polarizer helps to cut through a little bit of that reflected light and actually capture some of the colour, so that's helping. Then I've got a soft edge graduated filter as well, which is just bringing down the sky, because now it's got a bit brighter, it's much more difficult to control, so that's just to stop me from bracketing. Soft edge shooting at a wide angle is fine, because you know the peaks, it's not going to darken the peaks of the mountains too much. That's why it's a soft edge. It's going to, or it should blend in nicely, nice and gradually. Jesus, I can't even talk. This is so beautiful. Settings, f11, ISO 100 and 1/3 of a second, which seems quite a long shutter speed, but it is correct. You know, I guess putting the polarizer on, I think that stops that gives you like 1 or 2 stops of light less, so it means I need a longer shutter speed to kind of make up for that. Oh man, absolutely amazing. I wasn't expecting really this much snow as well. Like, it's not tons, but because I came last night in the dark, I couldn't see anything, and obviously driving here, sunrise in the morning, it was dark. It wasn't until I started the hike. Oh wow, absolutely stunning. So another shot, another image to show you guys. I hope you like it. Epic, epic, what a morning. Absolutely buzzing off it, unbelievable. Exceeded my expectations. I didn't know we were going to get light like that, or even a little bit of a sunrise. It was just amazing. So I'm just stopping for a quick bite to eat. I've got a, what's this now? Trek Peanut Power Whole Food Energy Bar, top drawer. And just want to show you guys my little hand warmer as well. There it is, keeping the old digits warm. But what a morning of photography. Now, I had quite a decent sleep last night in the old Red Beast, even though I was in my car. So I feel alright, you know. I was planning to kind of get these images and then go home, call it a day, but I feel like I've got enough energy. So I'm going to carry on up this peak here, which is called Benaculest. Apologies for my Gallic pronunciation, but as you know, I always like to give it a go. So yeah, I think that'll be nice, a nice little adventure. It's not too far to get to the top, and of course, at higher elevation, we should get some really, really nice views, if not nicer than what we've got here, and we should be able to see a lot more as well. I know that round the side of this peak, there's Rannoch Moor, which is just an epic, wild landscape, untouched. So definitely got the chance of getting some more photographs as well. We shall see, but I feel quite relaxed now. You know, I don't know if them images have come out yet. I mean, you guys have seen them. I feel confident that they're going to be all right, but I feel like, you know, a bit of a weight's been lifted, a bit of pressure has died down, because they're the images that I came to get. So now I can sort of relax, enjoy the adventure, and, you know, just see what the photography brings. So yeah, onwards and upwards. So you can see here, we have the camera out again. We're not near the peak yet. We've still probably got another half hour, 40 minutes, but you can see all this passing low cloud or fog, whatever you want to call it, and it's really atmospheric. And every now and again, we're getting a view back towards the Bucky. And I've stuck the long lens on. I'm shooting f9 ISO 100. Let's have a check. 1/160th of a second. Super fast shutter speed. I don't need to use my tripod, so you can see that intermittently we're getting views of it, and I'm just waiting. There we go, that's quite a nice one there. What am I zoomed in at? 70mm, and let me just make sure I'm manually focusing on the mountain. Let's try that one. And it's something quite abstract, very, very abstract actually. See, look there, it's completely gone now. So I'm probably going to stand here for the next 5 minutes and just keep waiting for my opportunity to take this photograph, because I think it's something really cool. And I'm going to play around with focal lengths a little bit as well. But I mean, this is one of them shots, you could be anywhere in the world, you know. From zooming in so much on Bucky Letiv Moor, you can't necessarily tell that it's that mountain. So yeah, really, really abstract. Something different to like break up the journey, I suppose. I'll pop it up for you guys to see if it works out, and then we'll crack on up to the summit. So I am probably about, probably only 5 or 10 minutes max to the peak in that direction. And you can see here, this low cloud it's been a little bit intermittent, but mostly I'd say at least 80% of the time it's just kind of been like this, so quite bleak, but it's nice, you know, it's atmospheric, but it just means we're not getting any sort of panoramic views that I was kind of hoping for. But it's nice enough here that it's made me want to get the old camera out. So you can see I'm set up here. As we've got higher, obviously we've got more and more snow, and this sort of scene here, it looks like it's covered with snow up here, but it's kind of not. It's just this little area, and in the background, beyond the fog or low cloud, there is a mountain. The Buccal Etive Moor, he is over there somewhere, trust me, and I've already got the shot. But it's nice, we're on a kind of plateau here, and we can just see the sort of top half maybe of that mountain, and of course, because it's such a beautiful sort of pyramid shape, it just looks awesome across that plateau. I'm hoping it's going to come out whilst I'm talking so you can see what I mean, but you're going to see this image anyway. Yeah, here we've just got this gorgeous pool of really, really clear water and a few of these reeds knocking about, and it's almost like a stream. It's a nice leading line, the water is, into the mountain that will be in the background there. And then of course the snow here in the foreground is acting as just giving us so much interest, you know, especially for this time of year. It's fantastic. And as you can see right now, we are occasionally getting some really, really nice side light, even though it's sort of midday, because the sun's so low in the sky, because it's winter. It's still quite nice light, you know, it's not overly harsh. So I'm shooting at f11 ISO 100, and that's 1/320th of a second, so I don't really need the tripod. I just used it because it helps me sort of compose when I'm not in a rush. Portrait dimension, just so it's a nice strip from bottom to top. I don't need to capture lows on the left and right hand side. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I did stick the wide angle lens on for this, because this pool here, although it may not seem like it, is actually quite wide. So I've got that on. I'm shooting at 11mm, which I really like, because it means I've used all three of my lenses, which is nice, because I've lugged them all the way up here. So it's looking like the old mountain's not going to come out to play, but he did in the photograph. So I'll pop that one up for you guys to see. I hope that you like it. So we've made it to the top of Ben Eck Released. Absolutely gorgeous, and I think I've come up and over the fog or the low cloud or whatever it was. We have got beautiful snowy mountains, panoramic views all the way around us, views down there to Rannoch Moor, and then as you come around there you're going to see Ben Nevis, which is the highest point of Scotland, highest point of the UK. Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to take a panorama shot, but I'm going to do it all by myself, nice and chilled out, and I'll pop it up at the end for you guys to see. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed this little micro adventure here in Scotland. Please leave me a comment below, give the video a like, and subscribe if you are new. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Out.